today we have none other than LAMRON PLUTO, LAMRON PLUTO, LAMRON PLUTO. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say rest in peace to LAMRON PLUTO. If you haven't done so already, definitely hit that subscribe button. It's dropping all heat today, and I might drop another one after this. You don't want to miss it. Turn your notifications on. If you want to catch me in some of these premieres, that's where you can find me at. But you got to turn your notifications on to do so, and definitely thumb up the video, as that gets my videos out to new viewers, which are potentially new subscribers. So all that said, let's jump right into this report for LAMRON PLUTO. All right, and we got an incident here. Is considered to be a non-criminal death. Alright, at the occurrence, the date is date of occurrence, November 29th, 2013, 0510, 100 hours. Victim, individual, 1, Patrick Walker, residence redacted, male, black, date of birth, year, 1991, age, 22 years. We have a few witnesses, 1 individual, male, black, age, 26. We have another witness individual, Ivory Isom, male, Asian, Pacific Islander, age 22 years. Then a witness, male, black, age 30 years. CFD first aid was given, yes. Injury extent, fatal. Injury reason, unknown. Injury cause, gunshot wound to head. Excuse me. Hospital, Christ Memorial. All right, we have a type of gunshot. Weapon used as a handgun. Other weapon used, other unknown. In summary, responding officers, we'll read the narrative here. In summary, responding officers were assigned to this death investigation after it was learned by Area South HGSU that Patrick Walker, victim, driver in vehicle crash, who it was thought at time of crash had died from head trauma. He in fact had died of a gunshot wound to the head after a post-mortem autopsy was performed by the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. And here we have a arrest report for a 1 Isom Ivory. He is a male, black, 5'7", 140 pounds, brown eyes, black hair, dreadlock hairstyle, medium brown complexion, age 23. Marks, he has tattoo YM on lower right arm, tattoo truly blessed on lower right arm. Alright. His charges: offense as cited, manslaughter, involuntary, class 3, type F, victim Walker Patrick. Felony review approved December 12, 2014 at 16:06, 100 hours, Martin Thor, State's Attorney's Office. Comments: gunshot wound to head. We have an incident narrative. This is an arrest narrative. The incident narrative for the arrest, excuse me. This is an arrest by GLRTF in that arriving officers had knowledge that Isom Ivory had an active investigative alert for reckless discharge of a firearm. Isom was identified as the offender who tested positive for gunshot residue tests from ISP Crime Lab regarding the death investigation of Walker Patrick. After a post-mortem autopsy was performed by the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office, it was discovered that Walker suffered a fatal gunshot wound to the head prior to the head trauma suffered as a result of vehicle crash, recorded under RD number listed. Arriving officers located 2 listed address, observed the offender look out of the second floor window, at which time offender's mother let arriving officers into the apartment. Arriving officers located to the second floor, at which time the offender slammed the door on arriving officers. Entry was made and above listed placed into custody. Offender transported to Area South Detective Division for further processing. Documented Black Disciple, clear, GIP/TDOA, no personal property, no ID on person. All right, we have a case supplementary report here, a cleared, closed, arrest and prosecution. This is a field investigation, cleared, closed, arrest and prosecution report. Date submitted January 31st, 2015, 12:44 hours. We have victims 1, Walker Patrick, male, black, 22. And we have offenders, Isom Ivory, black, 23 years. Right. You have method code, person shot, CAU code, DNA. All right, we have an investigation for an involuntary manslaughter. Victim, Walker Patrick, deceased, in custody, Isom Ivory. All right. Assigned detectives, some evidence, 2 video still photographs, 1 DVD-R of Isom holding handgun. We have an investigation. This report should be read in conjunction with all reports submitted under 3 RD numbers. On November 29, 2013, at 0510 hours, a traffic accident occurred at redacted East 93rd Street. The vehicle had a total of 4 occupants in it at the time of the crash. The driver of the vehicle, Patrick Walker, was pronounced at 0804 hours. Major Accidents was assigned to investigate the crash. BT-42R, Police Officer Jung and Tracy arrived at the scene and observed rear seat passenger Ivory Isom to be in possession of a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Isom was arrested for UUW at 0512 hours. A fired 9mm casing was recovered from the rear passenger seat floor of the vehicle. Initial injuries reported from Christ Hospital to Major Accidents was that Isom had a bullet wound in his right leg. Area South was notified of the gunshot wound to Isom, and reporting detectives were assigned case at 0930 hours. Reporting detectives' investigation revealed that Isom did not sustain a gunshot wound to his leg on or around November 29, 2013. Dr. ER at Christ Hospital informed reporting detectives that a gunshot wound to Isom's right leg was an old injury. Reporting detectives interviewed Isom at Christ Hospital. Isom denied touching the gun while he was in the vehicle that was driven by Patrick Walker. Isom further related that the gun that was in the car belonged to Patrick Walker. On November 30th, 2013, reporting detectives learned from the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office that the post-mortem examination determined that Patrick Walker sustained 1 gunshot wound to the right side of his head that exited his forehead. On December 1st, 2013, the other 2 occupants of the vehicle were interviewed. Redacted stated that he was very intoxicated and did not remember the accident. Redacted did not remember anything about a gun being in the vehicle. Redacted was interviewed and stated that he was in the rear seat behind the driver, Patrick Walker. Redacted was front seat passenger, and Ivory Isom was in the rear seat next to him. Redacted never saw a gun in the car and never heard a gunshot. Redacted further stated that he did not know what caused the car accident. Clothing from Redacted and Ivory Isom were submitted to ISP Crime Lab for gunshot residue testing. Redacted tested positive on his right cuff of hooded jacket and particles characteristic of background samples to his left cuff. Ivory Isom tested positive for gunshot residue on both cuffs of his hooded sweatshirt. No clothing from Redacted was available for testing. An investigative alert was issued for Ivory Isom and subsequently was arrested on December 11, 2014 at 12:45 hours. Isom was brought to Area South and placed into interview room number 2. The ERI was activated at 13:05 hours. Reporting detectives advised Isom his constitutional rights per Miranda from an FOP handbook at 14:07 hours. After Isom was read his rights, reporting detectives explained to Isom that he was in custody for the shooting death of Patrick Walker, who is the driver of the involved vehicle. Reporting detectives reminded Isom that his initial statement that he was never in possession of the gun that was recovered while he was involved in the vehicle. Reporting detectives informed Isom that a video was posted on Instagram sometime prior to the vehicle accident showing Isom holding a gun that matched the description of the gun recovered in the vehicle after the accident. Isom invoked his constitutional rights per Miranda at 14:20 hours when he asked for an attorney. Isom reinitiated at 18:39 hours and reporting detectives displayed a video still photograph of Isom holding a gun. Isom would not give a statement and invoked his rights again. ASA Randy Tyler from Felony Review arrived at Area South and was apprised of the facts pertaining to this case. The case was CI'd at 23:55 hours, pending an interview from Redacted and Redacted. Reporting detectives were not able to locate or re-interview Redacted, the other two occupants of the involved vehicle. After negative results attempting to locate Redacted, Felony Review was contacted and ASA Martin Thor approved one count of felony involuntary manslaughter charges at 16:06 hours on December 12, 2014. Reporting detectives request that this case be cleared, closed, arrest, and prosecution. Area South Bureau of Detectives, Dr. Carlisar, Detective Silken. And that's it for us, man. This was LAMRON PLUTO. Definitely hit that like button, man, and rewatch it if you missed anything. Peace.